In our last lesson, we started doing a deep dive into the JavaScript string data type. In this video, we're going to pick up right where we left off, and we're going to focus on methods that are available on this string data type. So to get started, in your project folder, go ahead and navigate to 14-strings2 folder, and then in the start subfolder, go ahead and open up main.js. In your browser, you'll want to go ahead and open up index.html, and when you do, you should see strings part 2 on your web page. So one of the things that's unique about JavaScript and the string data type is that even though this is a primitive value, we can access methods and properties on our variable. And the reason for that is because JavaScript treats primitive values as objects when we're executing these methods and properties. So as we learned in the objects lesson, objects can have methods that we can execute, and the method is just a function that's going to execute some code. So the first thing we're going to look at is we're going to go ahead and take a look at the length property. So the string.length is not really a method, so we're just going to go ahead and move that out of here. And we'll go ahead and do string properties. I'm going to do .length. So when you call the .length property on a string, it's going to go ahead and return the length of that string. So for example, if I do var text 6 equals hi, and we'll go ahead and do console.log text 6 length. If we go ahead and save and refresh, we should see 2, and that's because we have 2 characters in our string. So next, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the methods that are available. So these next 3 methods are really helpful if you need to find a string within a string. And the 3 methods that you can utilize are index of, last index of, and search. So I'm going to go ahead and let's make a new variable. We're just do var text 7 equals hello world, how are you? So the index of method will go ahead and return the index, so the position of the very first occurrence of a specified string within another string. So just for example, let's go ahead and do console.log, and so we have our string, so text 7, and then we can call our method. So we'll do index of, and then let's go ahead and do world. So go ahead and save and refresh. So we'll see that the string world is at the 6th position in our string. So one thing to know is when we count in JavaScript, we start at 0. So letter H will be at position 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be our space, and then 6 will be the start of our string. So one thing to know is if you search for a string that is not inside this string here, index of is going to go ahead and return -1. So if we go ahead and just change this string to Z and go ahead and save and refresh, you'll see you get -1 because this string is not located in this other string. So in addition to using index of, we can use last index of to also search for strings. And what's unique about last index of is this method is going to go ahead and find the last occurrence of the specified text in a string. So if there are duplicate occurrences, it's going to return the last index. So for example, if you go ahead and do last index of, and let's just go ahead and do the letter O, since we have multiple occurrences of that, and you'll see that at position 22. And how last index of works is it'll start by searching at the end of the string and working its way backwards until it finds that specified string. Where index of actually starts at the beginning of the string and finds the first occurrence that way. One thing to note is both of these methods you can pass a second parameter, and this is the position, and this will be the starting position where the search starts at. So if we start at position 5, what's going to happen is our results should still be the same. So how this works is when JavaScript starts searching our string, instead of starting at position 0, it's going to go ahead and start at, it'll go ahead and start here at position 5 and then start searching for our string. So for example, if we go ahead and copy this and paste it down here and we change this to an H, then if we save and refresh, you'll see we get position 13 is our first instance of the letter H in our string, and that makes sense because we actually started our search here. One thing to note is if you pass that position to last index of, it'll go ahead and count this way until it reaches position 5 and then start its search. So one other way you can search for strings within a string is you can use the search method. So for example, if we do console.log text7.search, and go ahead and search for the string u, we should get position 21 since it's there. So some things to know about the search method is it starts the search at the beginning of the string, so similar to index of. However, the search method does not take a second argument, so we can't actually specify position to start with. And the search method can also take a regular expression, where the indexf method cannot. So this will allow you to do powerful search capabilities when you're searching for your string. So our next three methods are used for extracting parts of a string. So just for example, what we're going to do here is we're just going to do console.log, we'll do text7, and we'll go ahead and do .slice. And then we'll go ahead and just do 0 and 5. Let's go ahead and copy this, and let's go ahead and do substring. And this one we'll go ahead and do 6. We'll do 10. And then we'll do substring as well. So go ahead and save and refresh. We can see what these methods are actually doing. So our first method, slice, what it does is it takes a start and an end position arguments. And what JavaScript will do is it'll start at the position specified and go to the end position, and it abstracts this part of the string out into a new string. So that's why in our console here we see the string hello. But if we go ahead and console log our text7, we should see that text7 should still be set to the original string. So hello world, how are you? So one thing to note is you can specify negative numbers here, and what that'll do is JavaScript will actually start searching from the end of the string and work its way backwards. So if we pass -6, JavaScript will start counting from the end of the string until it gets to 6, and then extract backwards that way. So next we have our substring method, and this is very similar to the slice method, except that you cannot pass a negative index to this method. So same thing, it'll start at the beginning of the string and then work its way to the end position and then abstract out that part of the string. So that's why you can see we have whirl here. And then finally we have the substr method. And what this method does is it starts at the starting position of the string that we specify, and then it's going to abstract out this number of characters from our string. So as you can see here, we start in our string, we go to position 6, so here for world, and then we count 10, and then we go ahead and extract the next 10 characters. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and that's how we get our string here. And the last method we're going to talk about is the replace method. So the replace method is really unique. So the replace method can be used to replace parts of a string with another string. So for example, let's go ahead and make a new variable. We're going to do var text8, and we're going to set this equal to apples are great. And let's say we want to go ahead and replace our word great here with amazing. So we can do this by using the replace method. So I'm going to do var text9. It's going to be equal to text8 dot replace. I'm going to go ahead and replace the string great with amazing. I'll go ahead and add an exclamation. So now if we go to a console log on text8, and we'll go ahead and copy this, and we'll also do it on text9. And so what we should see is text8, our string should not be updated. The original string should still be in place. And then our new string should have our replaced word. So if we look in our console, we can see that is the case. So we see apples are great, and then we replaced great with an amazing and an exclamation point.